Toronto is buzzing with that familiar mix of nerves and excitement. The 2025 World Series is winding down, but nobody in this city is really switching off yet. Hearts are still racing, minds are still replaying October moments, and already the conversation is drifting toward what comes next. That's just how baseball works here. One chapter closes, and before the ink is dry, fans are already flipping the page. While Toronto is still emotionally unpacking the season, things look very different over in St. Louis. The Cardinals are stepping into a brand new chapter under Chaim Bloom, and when a front office hits the reset button, veterans suddenly start feeling like furniture that might not match the new decor. That's where Sonny Gray enters the picture. With Max Scherzer heading into free agency, Toronto may once again be scanning the market for an experienced arm, someone with a little edge left, a little fire still burning, and a very strong desire to chase one more ring. The big question floating through the air is simple but dangerous. Could Gray be the next pitcher to pull on blue and white? The 2025 season was everything Toronto fans hoped for and secretly feared. The team reached the World Series, proving they belong on baseball's biggest stage. This roster showed growth, toughness, and a refusal to fold under pressure. But baseball isn't patient. Championship windows don't politely stay open while you grab a coffee. They slam shut without warning. With Scherzer likely gone and the rotation needing both depth and reliability, the front office knows standing still isn't an option. At the same time, St. Louis is searching for itself. Another underwhelming year pushed the Cardinals toward change, and under Bloom, the focus is no longer on patching holes, but on rebuilding the entire structure. That difference in direction is striking. Toronto is focused on reinforcing the present, St. Louis is mapping out the future. And somehow, Sonny Gray sits right at the intersection of those two paths. Gray's 2025 numbers were quietly solid. 14 wins, 8 losses, an ERA just over 4, and more than 200 strikeouts across nearly 181 innings. Not flashy, not dominant, but dependable. He's still competitive, still capable, and still stubborn enough to believe he has October magic left in his arm. For a Cardinals team looking ahead, that makes him valuable, but also movable. For Toronto, it makes him intriguing. This rotation needs someone who's been through the chaos of playoff baseball, someone who doesn't panic when the stadium gets loud and the margin for error disappears. From St. Louis's perspective, moving Gray would create financial breathing room and open doors for younger arms to grow. From Toronto's side, it's about mentality. This team doesn't want to rewind. They came too far, fought too hard, and tasted the World Series stage. Adding a veteran like Gray would be a clear signal that the goal isn't just to compete again, but to finish the job. Of course, fans would greet the idea with equal parts excitement and side-eye. The obvious question would come quickly. Does he still have enough left when October demands perfection? It's a fair concern. Age isn't undefeated, even if pitchers try to bluff their way past it with guile and cutters. But baseball history is full of veterans who found a second wind at exactly the right moment. Sometimes a new uniform does wonders. Sometimes it's not about velocity, it's about knowing when not to throw the fastball everyone expects. This potential connection between Toronto and St. Louis highlights two intense but opposite realities. One franchise is embracing patience and long-term planning, the other is living in the now, operating with urgency and belief. It feels like a trade of timelines, a veteran leaving a rebuilding club to chase one more shot with a contender. Toronto fans have seen this movie before, and when it works, it's beautiful. When it doesn't, well, at least the debates are entertaining. If Sonny Gray were to arrive, it wouldn't just be a transaction, it would be a statement. While the Cardinals look toward tomorrow, Toronto is staring straight at today with hunger in its eyes. After coming so close to glory, nobody wants to watch this team take a step backward. The rotation needs leadership, calm, and experience. Gray offers all three, plus the motivation of a player who knows time isn't infinite. And here on 9 Innings Media, this is exactly the kind of rumor that keeps fans glued to their phones in the offseason, refreshing feeds like it's a 9th inning at-bat. Toronto feels like a city on the edge of something. The next championship still feels just out of reach, like a mirage on the horizon, but closer than it's been in decades. That's the beauty and the burden of being a fan here. Every rumor feels like it could change destiny. Every off-season move feels monumental. As winter approaches and the hot stove heats up, don't be surprised if all eyes drift north. Something is brewing, and the Rogers Center might soon be the stage for the next great twist in this story. Because around here, belief doesn't disappear when the clouds roll in. It gets louder.